Welcome back to another episode of Christmas at the Farmhouse, where I take you through different spaces in my home and show you how I decorate. Today we're focusing on one of my mom's favorite pieces, her very old primitive hutch. I'm going to be using her favorite vintage dish set and mixing it in with some stained glass houses that I've had since the 90s. So let's go ahead and get into it and figure out how I blended these together to make a nostalgic Christmas feel. First, I'm going to start by gathering all of the stained glass village. I have a number of houses. I also have a nativity set and a few like trees, snowman, and such. This set dates back to about the 90s. I started collecting them when I found this first 6-piece set of houses that's shown here, and I found it at Ross, believe it or not. I used to shop at Ross a ton in my teens and 20s. I loved a good deal, and for some reason these just stuck out to me. So I liked that they were unique and it wasn't like your traditional village. So once I did find that original set, it felt like I just kept finding them everywhere, mainly at Ross, but I did pick up a few at Joann Fabrics. But around that time in the 90s, early 2000s, they had some. So it's been a number of years. I guess I'm vintage now. So not sure if they're still out there anymore. You might be able to check eBay or Etsy, something along those lines, or maybe your local Facebook marketplace. If you do want the brand for any of them, I do have some of the boxes that I could maybe find for you. So just drop it below. Yeah, best of luck if you like this set. I hope you find some pieces. Somehow my footage of me hanging the garland got lost. It actually was quite a mess and a little bit of a pain. Maybe you didn't miss out on anything, but it is just kind of framing the top, and I felt like it gave a snowy look to it. It adds some light and some more dimensions. Anyway, just in case you wondered where that came from, it just magically appeared. It's Christmas. So here I'm just playing around with the height of them on different shelves, deciding what I want grouped together. One of the drawbacks was one of the light sets had 5 on it, so I did have to keep 5 together all on one row. I wish I'd had an opportunity to separate them a little bit more, but in the end I feel like it worked out. I generally had them on the shelves like I wanted, or so I thought, and then I decided to start adding in this dish set. So these dishes were something that my mom had way back in the 90s as well. This is definitely a 90s country vintage vibe going on. She had actually had this set when we were kids, and it was one of her favorites, but for some reason she gave it up over the years. And then recently she found it secondhand and was able to snag the whole set again, which was really exciting for her. So I'm featuring it for the first time. They have a village scene on them. I'll show some close-ups a little bit later. It seemed to fit the theme that I was going for, and I'm using this as sort of a backdrop on here. So it might look a little bit busy, but villages always seem to. I'm just trying to create a theme and some semblance of cohesion throughout this look. Sometimes when you have a lot going on, it helps to create a little bit of a theme in order to make it seem simpler, if that makes any sense at all. So again, I'm just trying to tuck these in on places, creating balance, symmetry, and just visual interest on all of the shelves. And also filling in some holes where I don't have houses or figures to fill in. Or I mentioned this before, that this is a very old primitive piece, so the shelves are fairly secure but not perfect. I ended up using the Gorilla Putty that I've used in other videos to secure the plates, which worked out perfect. So highly recommend that. Once I put a little piece on each of the plates, they did not move at all, and I felt way more confident about this because they were slipping and sliding there for a while, and it made me really nervous. I used this Merry Christmas sign on the top shelf just because none of my village fit there very well, and because I didn't have enough dishes, so I thought it was really cute with this set. Now that all the dishes are in place, I'm going to go ahead and rearrange the houses and get them more in place where I would like them. The cords were a little bit of a tedious project, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward that a little bit more just so you can see the process, but don't get bored. So here we go. So the bottom row is done, first row success, and they look so pretty lit up. I love the glow of the stained glass. Had a few more spots to fill, so I'm gonna take a couple more dishes, some of the smaller ones, teacups and such, to fill in the remaining holes. Now to add some little people and characters into the set. I found these at Walmart. They were very inexpensive and they were just about the right size for this village. Often the little pieces that you can add to villages can be kind of cheesy quality, and these were actually pretty good compared to others I've seen, and for the price. So definitely recommend them. So I'll link them below if I can find them. They might be sold out because I feel like it was last year that I got these. Now to add in a little bit of snow to hide the cords. I've been using this batting stuff a lot this year. I don't know that I've ever used it in years past, except for maybe display at my old shop, but it really was perfect to hide the cords. I used it in my Christmas tree hutch, so you can go back and watch that one if you'd like, but it just created a nice little glow around the houses and disguised all of the ugly cords that were running between. Very inexpensive fix. You also could use white fabric if you wanted, but this was what I had on hand. Going to nest a little bit around each of the figures as well, just to add some more dimension. And that was it, you guys. Pretty simple display, although the cords and the dishes took a long time to put up, but overall pretty simple in general. Here it is in the daytime, just so you can see a little bit more of the detail. And then at night with all the lights on. Enjoyed episode 6 of Christmas at the Farmhouse. If you haven't been following along, you can go back and watch any of the other episodes on my playlist on my channel, where I've broken down different areas in my farmhouse that I've decorated for Christmas, like my vintage Christmas tree collection and my snowman collection, as well as my old-fashioned nostalgic Christmas tree, my front porch, and a few other things.